if you guys can push this video, share it everywhere, share the YouTube video and get us 1,000 views on this episode, me and Krishn will get like an army bus cut for summer.
Okay, yeah, done. 1,000 views.
Episode 11, guys. We're now double digits in. It's been a while since we've done this. For us, it's been like 2 weeks. I think we skipped yesterday. Last week, did we do the episode 10 or did we skip last week? Or we skipped last week. Yeah. Because we did episode 10 on a Saturday night and we skipped the episode before that. So it's been a while. It's been 3 weeks. So I'm very, very excited for the podcast again. We're back to our OG setup. It's just me, Krishn and Steven. How's everyone going?
I'll let Steven answer first, actually. Steven, how have you been?
I've been good. I've finished all my exams. My summer semester has started. I'm excited to, finish my first year of uni and...
No, you would have finished your first year. Summer's just like additional. So your first year's pretty much finished, yeah. Congratulations on finishing first year.
Thank you very much. I've made it.
Alright. Let's talk about we have this Slack group chat where we discuss titles for episodes. Steven, what's your thoughts on Krishn's choice of the title for episode 10?
I like it.
Nice.
I think a short title will be more attractive because it's just like they read two of like the topics that we write about and they're like, oh damn, I want to know more, and then they're more likely to click on the video.
Exactly.
I think what did we ended up going with the angsty teen reveal, right?
Yeah.
Angsty teen or intern? I think angsty intern. So well, at least everyone's seen Steven's face and I can confirm that is the first and the last time you will be seeing up in. You will not be seeing it. Isn't that right, Steven?
You never know. It might come up again. Oh, it'll be a surprise. We'll keep it till then. We'll keep it like a secret. If I'll make like another cameo in one of the podcasts.
Very optimistic. I like it.
Thank you.
And Krishn, how are you feeling the shaved face? Was it for like increased productivity, or were you just like procrastinating? You're like, I feel like shaving my face.
Dude, that's literally exactly what happened. I was literally sitting at home procrastinating. I'm like, you know what? Nah, it's gotta go. It's gone. And I'm like, nah, that's it. And I just shaved it. And I'm like, and afterwards I looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh damn. Oh damn. Like, I really grew that on my face. But you know what? It'll be back soon, maybe one day. It'll be like it's like a similar situation, Steven. Maybe it'll be back, maybe it won't. I don't know. But I think it'll be back. I'm keen. But yeah, I'm just got one more exam left, just chilling, killing, and then I'll be like Steven, I'll be done. I've made it. Isn't it right, Steven?
Dude, I was thinking back to like high school when we'd had those shave for cancer events, and it would be like, for some reason, everyone that went bald, it would always be these like, it was always the unique people that would volunteer to get their hair shaved. It would be like the people who like, they were sort of not cool, but they weren't too nerdy, and they had these sort of unique sort of weird sort of features, and you would sort of know you would know them for being weird, but now you really know them because they're shaving their head in front of everyone, and then after they shave their head, they'll go back and disappear into the background of high school. Was it like that for you, Krishn?
You mean like it's like one big publicity stunt in itself? To be honest, I don't know. I think.
What made you go bald, Krishn? I know you went bald.
No. I'm gonna set this straight. I didn't go bald. Okay. I decided to do a really, really short cut, but I didn't go bald. The reason why is because, but I don't think I had anyone like that in high school that just went bald like that. I knew one or two, but it was just like, for me, it was more like, why are you doing it? Like if you're genuinely doing it for cancer, fair enough. But I feel like some of these people just doing it because oh look at me, I'm going bald. I don't know. Anyway, but either way, it's for a good cause, so big up. But the reason why I shaved my head isn't. I didn't shave my head. I need to stop saying I shaved my head. Steven, have you seen the photo?
I have not, but I would like to see it.
I'll show you later.
Yeah, show me later. It's okay.
But the reason why is because I have this parting in my hair where it's like my hair used to be this way, right? So like it grows up until like here. It's like yours in the sense that you know how you got a little bit on one side and So see how down the middle there you got. So mine was like that, and like I'd always try and like put it to one side, and it would always like screw up. So I was like, you know what? I'm going overseas because I was going on exchange for 2 weeks. So I was like, you know what? I'm going on exchange. I'm going with random people I don't even know. So one of my good friends I went with, going with people I don't know. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna shave my head. So, well, okay, I'm just gonna get a really short haircut, not shave my head. So I got a really short cut, and like, to be honest, I didn't even mind it. It was just a shock to everyone because like I had a head of hair, and then
Holy crap! What the? Is it okay if I can zoom in on this or?
yeah, I have no self-respect anyway.
Yo, that's one sexy man. Look at him.
Ooh.
Is that more?
No, that's it. That's like, oh well. There's another one next after it, but like you'd have to zoom in a little bit more to see.
Yeah, right here, right?
No. Am I in the? Yeah, this one. You idiot. To the left, but like, yeah. So I was with random people I never knew.
I like the suit. Nice
Yeah.
suit.
Thank you, man. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna do it. There's no like, what I've got to lose. So I did it, and I didn't even think it looked that bad because everyone that I was with thought it was normal, and they're like, oh. You know, they didn't even say anything, and then I showed them what I looked like with a head of hair. They're like, "What? Wait, what? You have hair?" And then, yeah, I remember Peter making fun of me. He commented on that photo, being like, "Nice head." I'm like, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. You should do it.
I've done it.
Get out.
I've done it. I'll show you some photos. For some reason, I don't know if it was a barber, but it just didn't fit my head. Also, the reason I did was, I think a lot of people can sympathize with this, but the line you have, it keeps moving in every single time you get a cut, and eventually it's just too far in, and you're like, fuck this, I'm going to reset the line, I'm going to go bald. So I think I went through a similar situation, but I just couldn't pull it off. I think maybe the guy didn't like fade it correctly, it didn't look like a nice buzz cut, or maybe it just doesn't fit my head. But I'll definitely show you some photos. I think I have some old photos of me bald, not bald, but like buzzed cut.
If we get 500 views on this video, on this podcast, I'll shave my head again. I'll go buzz cut. Andy and I will both go buzz cut. Actually, no, 500's... Nah.
That's too easy. That's only
that's too easy.
I reckon if you guys can push this video, share it everywhere, share the YouTube video and get us 1,000 views on this episode, me and Krishn will get like an army buzz cut for summer.
Okay, yeah, done. 1,000 views.
That's it.
Get
I'm
1,000
down.
views.
So like I'm like at the same time I'm like fingers crossed we don't hit it because I like long hair. At the same time 1,000 views, and if you guys share it, that would be dope. So yeah, let's do it. 1,000 views and we'll get a buzz cut and we'll film it at the same time. But yeah, dude, this week for this shirt, for some reason the right side was like bent weirdly, and I didn't have a sort of iron to like straighten it out and even it out. So what I did is I got a paperclip, I folded it correctly and put the paperclip in, and then after a few hours it held its position and I felt like a genius. Use a paperclip rather than a freaking iron.
Okay, well, for the people listening, you should never substitute the two because an iron is still useful for when you're like ironing creases out of your shirt, because you can't use a paperclip to iron the creases out of your shirt. But wow. So how long do you keep the paperclip in there for?
I think I just wore it for literally 2 to 3 hours, and after I took it off, it created the brand new crease that I was looking the right bend.
So the difference is because you wanted to get the fold in a different position, right? But like if there's creases in there, like, you know, you got to iron it, because a shirt that's creasy, it just doesn't look good at all. Ironing is just a chore. You don't have an iron, do you?
I don't. I have a steamer, a portable steamer. Those are amazing. I recommend it. It's like $15 and you steam your shirt and all the creases disappear. Definitely highly recommend steamers.
Oh, I've never used a steamer before.
Yeah.
I'll have to go and invest in one.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's like so cheap. But on that topic, dude, I think wearing black clothing is a hack to never needing to iron, because you can't see creases with black clothing, can you?
100% black clothes. Half my entire wardrobe is just black clothes. I don't have like many other colors. It's just black. It's just easy as well. I can't be bothered. You know what I mean? What about you? Do you have majority black clothes as well?
I don't have too many. I mix it up a bit. But the thing I was thinking about, if in summer you are all dressed in black, Krishn,
yeah.
if I stand next to you, is it actually cooler because you're absorbing all the heat, or is it actually hotter because you're bringing all the heat towards you? What do you think?
I doubt that it'll even make much of a difference, would it?
Dude,
Would
I
it?
feel like I've sat in black cars in summer, and for some reason it always feels hotter than sitting in like a white car.
Oh, 100% no. Black cars feel way hotter. Like that's different. But I feel like as a one individual, I don't think you'd be able to, like, you definitely feel hotter, but I don't think anyone around you will be able to like
That's
feel
true.
it. Like, but like yeah, whenever you wear black clothes in summer, it's just the worst. Oh god. You know what it reminds me of? Like when you touch yourself when the seatbelt
Oh yeah.
when the seatbelt metal part touches you in summer, that's game over. That is game over.
Dude, like the other day it was so hot. It wasn't even the 37-degree day. It was like a 30-degree day, and my wheel was freaking hot. Like I couldn't turn. It was like it's hot. Like I had to use
It's way too hot.
I had to use my fingers to turn it and shit. I was like, what's gonna happen in summer?
Bro, I hate Australian summer. Australian summer is literally the worst summer. It's just I just don't like summer. There, I said it. I don't like summer. I'm a winter sort of person, you know what I mean? Like I enjoy snuggling up. Summer, bro, if it's hot, you can't just put on more clothes to get rid of it. You can't do anything. You just gotta sit there and melt. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. Steven, do you want to do that?
Of course not. I want to celebrate. Imagine celebrating Christmas in summer. You're chilling with your family. You have the aircon blasting. That's like the only way you can enjoy yourself. Instead of, like unfolding gifts, you're just sweating profusely. It's terrible.
It's just disgusting. It's just not good at all. Do you like summer, Andy?
I don't actually like it, but I think you're right where it's easier to get warmer than it is to get cooler. Because like if it's super hot and you're naked, there's not much you can do you can't rip off your skin to get cooler. Whereas in winter, you can put more and more clothing. The reason why when you asked me that, I was a bit like confused because for some reason, when Steven talks, like something about his voice, like it reminds me, Steven, pretend to be a Macca's dealer. I'll be a customer. I'll be like, I'll come to you and Steven, you can start be like, hey sir, what would you like?
Hey sir, what would you like?
I'd like a Big Mac meal.
Is that a small, medium, or large?
I'd like a medium.
Is that Coke for the drink?
Yeah, Coke.
Okay, your total is $13.95.
Well, what's in your mind, Krishn? What are you thinking?
That was amazing. How are you so good at that? What the hell? Have you done that before?
No.
He just eats a lot of Maccas.
Oh, I'm getting exposed here. Oh no, it's the 30-day 30 deals. Don't expose me, Andy.
Oh my god, have you been going?
I went a couple of days. I think the last day I went was on the 7th for the chicken nuggets deal.
So you just look. Did you see? He was on top of it. You told him what he goes. Is that small, medium, large? Yeah, I would have been like, is that it? You'd be like, is that it? But he's on it. He's on the game.
He's a pro. Talking about Macca's, dude, my cousin, he went ham when Monopoly came out. He went ham. He just like ate a lot of Macca's and just tried to get Monopoly. In the end, he didn't win anything, unfortunately. But like, he went ham on Macca's when Monopoly came out.
Isn't that the smartest thing though? Like for Macca's to do that, that is like obviously they have to have the prizes available for them to, release it every year. But it actually brings out so much.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is, most of the winning tickets, they just get lost.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's what makes it so like unique because you have a chance to win, but you have to keep those small dockets. And if you lose a small docket, that's it. But then the way they do it is really smart because they always release it just before summer, and then November they'll have, I think, is it November or it's in summer, the 30-day 30 deals. I think that Steven's been quite the avid fan of. And then in December they'll usually introduce like an ice cream or something different, like a McFlurry or something, but like they'll have that steady progression to summer and it's like bang. That's so smart. Like Steven's a victim of it. He was in Steven, did you play Monopoly Macca's?
I did not.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
just a 30 days, 30 deal.
Yep.
Look at that.
I'm stumped just like you. Every time we, like, sometimes we go for the kill, and then Steven proves us wrong. And we're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Look, Steven, you're making us proud. You're good.
Yeah, hopefully we get stumped a lot, because if that's the case, then Steven has grown a lot. But yeah, I think there's a rule. It takes like 30 days to build a habit, and literally McDonald with the 30-day thing, they're literally building a freaking habit for you to just keep coming back. I think there's a rule. If a person goes to a restaurant once, the chance of them coming back is like, I don't know, 5%. If they go to the same restaurant twice, the chance of them coming back is 30%. The chance, if they go 3 times, the chance of them coming back jumps up to like 60%. So what a restaurant owner would do is he would give coupons, be like, hey, nice, since you came here first, here's a coupon to come for the second time. Give them another coupon to give them to come the third time. And eventually after 6 times, they've already ingrained the habit, and they're definitely going to come back in their lifetime. You won't have to give them coupons anymore. So if you're a restaurant owner, that's a good tip.
You know what that reminds me of? Have either of you ever seen The Office?
I have a bit. I saw like a bit of season 1 and random episodes and memes.
Steven?
Oh my god, Steven reminds me of that big guy in The Office.
Yeah, big guy.
Like the way he talks, like they have the same similar personality. They're like, whoa, the big guy.
I don't know his names. This guy?
Kevin.
Kevin?
His name's Kevin.
Oh, Kevin.
Yeah, that's him. Brian. Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
Kevin
He's like cheery. He's funny. He's like perky. he's this like.
Everybody is going to get to know each other in the pot. I'm serious.
Oh my god, that's so Steven.
Right before
That exactly happened.
are
I've seen that happen.
dicing whole tomatoes. I toast my own ancho chilies.
Oh, that's so Steven. He does that.
It's a recipe passed down from
Steven.
Malone's for generations. It's probably the thing I do best.
Oh, Steven.
Oh, crap.
Does that not just hurt to watch? Like, it just literally pains you to...
Yeah, that's me every week, every Saturday. I'm like in that same state.
Oh, but yeah. So, no, what I was saying before is... Okay, well, that clip a little bit reminds me of... Not so much the physical feature, just the absolute clumsiness. Just... God knows what. But what I was saying is... There's a clip from The Office where the main character Jim goes to Dwight and he goes, Dwight, do you want a mint? And then Dwight says yes. And what he did is he kind of like hard coded Dwight's mind to like react every time that a noise. So every time he'd give him a mint, he'd play a noise, and then he'd keep giving him mints every time he played the noise. And then eventually he just stopped asking him for mints. He just played the noise, and then he'd just hold his hand out ready for the mint because he's just ready for it. That's what McDonald's is doing for McDonald's, giving their 30-day deals, and they're like waiting for us to just keep going back. They're going to get rid of the 30-day deals, and we'll just go back to McDonald's as if nothing happened, and then they'll be like, what do you want? You know what I mean? They'll be like, we've got nothing here for you, as in no deals or anything. That's what it reminds me of.
Exactly. And like I was like thinking about it, like Uber Eats is becoming super duper efficient. Like Uber, you might be paying like literally $3 to $4 for delivery, but you literally just save like 45 minutes of driving. Like you might drive to McDonald's, that might take say 10-15 minutes, find a parking, that's another 5 minutes, park, walk into the store, order your food or even pick up your food, that's another 5 minutes, come back, get out of the parking, that's another 5 minutes, drive back, that's another 15 minutes. Dude, it adds up to 45 freaking minutes just to get Macca's. Uber Eats is like, you're paying $3 to save 45 minutes. It's like a total deal, like a total steal, I meant. And eventually things are going to be so efficient where like literally we're going to turn into Wall-E, those like fat people on chairs. Things are just getting so streamlined, so efficient. And I think with all this streamlining, I think it's possible for the world to become so abundant where like robots take over, and hopefully that means like the poverty might disappear. What's your thoughts, Krishn?
I think that's the one thing that we haven't really talked about as of yet. But dude, isn't that so interesting? Okay, I'm not going to say 5 to 10 years ago. I'm not going to say it. 3 years ago. 3 years ago, Uber Eats was not a thing. Actually, no. It was. But I never used it. And I always thought people were stupid for using it. I'm like, why are you using it? Just go and pick it up, or just call up and pick it up. And I've always wondered. And then I used it. And I was like, oh my God. This genuinely changes everything. I get it, because the way they do it, obviously everyone knows how it works. It's not the actual, the restaurant that's the one that's outsourcing the delivery function. They're the ones that outsource it to Uber Eats, who do it for them, because it makes sense. Uber's business model is literally transportation services, no frills, etc. Right? You just get in some random person's car and they take you wherever they want. Why can't that random person go and pick up your food and drive it to you? Because they're already on the road. These users are already on the road trying to find jobs. It makes sense. And it blows my mind day by day, thinking dude, they've actually managed to not only because the taxi industry was heavily monopolized by the big dogs. They went into a monopolized industry, tore it up from the ground up, right? Essentially got amazing amount of market share, at least more than 30% of market share, at least, I'm predicting, right? And then not only that, then they're like, all right, delivery. We'll get into delivery now. Isn't that just insane? They get paid peanuts, though, those drivers. They get paid nothing, but my God.
Dude, I have another hypothesis where back in medieval ages, I think the percentage is 70% of the world populations were farmers, people in agriculture.
Yeah.
And 30% might be business people work in the castle or kingdom. But 70% of the populations were farmers. My hypothesis is that in the next, say, 50 years, 70% of the population will be doing delivery, from 2-hour Amazon delivery, 30-minute food delivery, 5-second Uber times, and everything is just going to be delivering and getting things back and forth until we figure out how to get drones to do it. That hypothesis can probably be broken. I'm not fully committed to it, but I think in the last 2 years, we went from the roads being just cars to now you see the famous, everyone's in these cycles with the massive bag, the massive food bag, and you just see these squads of cyclists with carrying food in their backpack. And that's a super popular thing now, and eventually you're going to just see more and more of that everywhere. I take the theory back, but it's gonna be a lot.
I 100% agree. Okay, so 3 things I have, right? So I agree with the automation. Everything, no matter, you think about everything that you can possibly think of, it's been streamlined. Everything's been streamlined. Your traditional, the way you'd consume lectures at university, streamlined, online. Just go and literally stream it. You think of music, you used to purchase it, streamline, you literally stream it. Okay, now I'm talking a literal stream, but I'm talking many other things. It's literally so streamlined, right, that you don't realize how much of how easy it is for you to get direct access to it, as opposed to before, right? So it's going to continue evolving, you're right, with drones and everything as well. Have you seen that Uber had a patent to try and get into the air travel in within cities, or have the patent for helicopters for air travel, etc. And then you just get into Uber helicopter or whatever, and you go to the other side of the city to see the future of urban mobility. Yeah, so that's another thing, right? So there's drones. And then when you think about it, dude, you know what could have caused shockwaves? You know what could have caused shockwaves? If say private logistics providers, your FedEx, your DHL and everything, what if they got into the food delivery business? It obviously doesn't sound feasible at all, right? Why would a private postal service get into the food delivery business? But why would a taxi service, a rideshare service like Uber get into the food delivery business? And then now it's become so common that the name Uber Eats is just synonymous to your vocabulary, and you didn't even realize it. There could have been FedEx delivery. I don't know. You know what I mean? It could have been like
Yeah, for sure, because like
FedEx Foods. Yeah.
they're like definitely not innovating fast enough. Because the crazy thing in Australia right now, when you order something from Amazon Prime, a random stranger picks it up from the Amazon warehouse and brings it to you, and they get paid like an Uber commission. Where like
Wait, really?
yeah, you get everyday people that would, you know, similarly apply for Uber, and they'll just come and drop off your items. And it's insane how everyday people, you know how farming was something that literally anyone can do? Well, now if you lost a job, you could even easily become a delivery person for either food, packages, transport, and like I'm even thinking like, dude, groceries. People are gonna literally buy groceries online. Doctors are gonna come to your house rather than you go to them. Like things are just gonna become more and more streamlined. And you're right. And like, yeah, that's gonna be the future.
Dude, like you said, like doctors coming to your house and stuff. Like there could possibly be like an app that you could create that could essentially like a services app. So like
Holy shit,
professionals.
Airtasker is insane as well.
Yeah, Airtasker. Yeah, something like Airtasker, but like professionals to you. Well, actually, Airtasker kind of is like professionals to you, except you're not really getting professionals. It's an open advert for anyone that can possibly do it, right? But like,
Other than like cleaning up my gutters, I could literally just put up my Airtasker, and tomorrow or even today, someone would come and do it for me for $100. It's insane.
yeah, you know what I mean? So like something like Airtasker, but for like professionals, where it's like professionals in the industries of either medicine, accounting, or something. Obviously, you can go online and just advertise your services and saying accountant needed or something needed, but like streamline a platform where it's easy to connect industry professionals with individuals that need it via like an app or an internet website and everything. And then but like Airtasker's already there. It's so interesting, isn't it? Like these sort of things, it's just, you're right, like people are just going to come to you. You're not going to be needing to go anywhere. You can just sit in your seat and in a click of a button you'll have Maccas at your door. You'll have a doctor curing your heartache that you got from eating the Maccas, and you got more food coming, and then you got your physio coming because you're sitting on your chair too long. It's like, yeah.
And then those two topics I could have went down, either the conspiracy theory of the conspiracy theory of like the whole funnel of the world, or could go down on how like tech is getting better, and eventually like things would just last forever, and we would only have to buy things once. Which route do you guys want to pick?
Steven's
I'd love
choosing.
to hear from the conspiracy theory. That sounds really interesting.
Okay, so what Krishn said, how like, dude, consumerism is feeding you these advertisements, brainwashing you to eat fast food. You're eating a bunch of fast food, you're getting sick, then you have to go to the hospital, and you go to the hospital, they give you these medicines that don't fix your problems but just keep you stable, and you're constantly now having to take these medicines forever. Now the medical industry is making a ton of money, and like somehow like through consumerism, these like doctors, they're making a lot of money, and they're spending money on freaking Gucci and stuff. And Gucci, I don't know how it links back to fast food, but there's like a whole consumerism system going here. Like
It's like a big web.
yeah, GDP is like, isn't GDP like, I know it's like output, how much like a country sort of produces, but having high consumption within a country like America, I'm pretty sure that leads to high GDP. And just as you know, how to really stimulate a country is to get everyone spending money.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how all these things create a circle. There isn't a stop where like, okay, no one's telling you to eat healthy food, because if you eat healthy food, you won't go to the hospital.
It's kind of like what the whole basis of what the economy is defined as, right? Because why do you go to work? You go to work so that you can sustain your day-to-day life by paying for the house that you live under, by paying for the food that you eat. And when you pay for the food that you eat, you are either buying groceries for the week, or you're spending your funds on not unnecessary food, but like eating out, like in a restaurant and stuff. So you're spending money for your personal needs and personal wants and personal habits. And then from there, it's like your interests, your hobbies, and everything. And then from there, it's like, that's what the economy is. It's like this huge web that's just never really ending. And it's like, yeah, interesting.
The next thing that came to my mind was Ty Lopez was talking about Karl Marx. I think he's like the founder of communism, and he read the book on communism just to learn about what it's like and what communism is about. This was like a really interesting perspective. When you pay someone $37,000 a year, you're actually expecting them to output $80,000 worth of productivity for you to be able to make a return. Whereas communism believes that if someone outputs $80,000 worth of productivity, you should pay them $80,000. Everyone that is working has to be underpaid, because if they've been paying the right amount or overpaying, then the company would not be able to be profitable and would not be able to continue running. So that was one interesting fact I learned. I was like, oh, okay, I see the point of view of communism. Obviously, I don't believe in communism. But then that also lies in the fact of how has the world created this perfect system where you are forced to work for like 60 years before you retire. You're paid just enough to cover your expenses for your roof, shelter and food, and you're given a bit extra to relax, but not enough to really stop the cycle. That's what I just discovered. I was like, well, it's just too perfect how it's literally just enough to pay your mortgage, food, rent, and a little bit extra for fun, but nothing more. And it forces you to be stuck for 60 years.
Do you ever wonder how we got to this point? Like you said, like how did we get to this point where it gets to a point like you live to work to die?
Yeah. Like if you see like Krishn, like how do you escape it? Because you're literally paid just enough to survive. Like even if you saved super much, would you be able to retire at like 40? Or will it still be really?
No. Oh, it depends on my wage when I'm like 10, 15 years down. Yeah. And it depends where I'm at in the next 10 to 15 years. I mean, that goes without saying for anyone. It depends where their financial, personal, social circumstances are. But wow, yeah, like it's become such a well-constructed sort of.
And the crazy thing is, when you start making more money and get raises, your minimum also increases with it. That's why I just said, I was like, holy. When you go from making 50,000 to 80,000, your base expenses go from 40,000 to like 60,000.
And that comes without like when it goes without saying, when you start earning more money, you start thinking bigger, start looking bigger, you want to, you know, get a better place, etc. And then when you get a better place, your expenses increase. So in reality, your larger paycheck, your larger wage rate doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be earning a lot more money and saving a lot more. It just means that you're just going to shift into a different bracket where you're going to be paying the same proportion. You know what I mean? And it's like, how did we get to this stage? What happened to get to this stage where like the person like we get to this stage where we start working and we live to work to die, essentially, right? So we live to work to die. We get up, we go to work, and we come home, and then we pay for our expenses. But like, have you thought about like superannuation? Who thought about superannuation? Like, I get it. It is obviously useful and a very good idea in the sense that, you know, it protects a lot of people from spending all their money now and keeps it for like the rainy day when they're old and retired. But like, who thought of that as a necessity? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's just weird.
The system is so perfect where they've found the sweet spot of hours. The sweet spot is 9 to 5. The sweet spot is 5 days. The sweet spot is, you know, $60,000 a year, and then the sweet spot for the mortgage is like $2,000. Everything is like and I think it makes sense through like economics. Things just even out.
Yeah.
Where like just due to everyone spending and when like things imbalance over a period of 100 years, we've balanced it out to find the perfect machine where humans are like able to literally produce 60 years worth of output to the economy, to the country.
And it's like you're seen as unproductive if you don't contribute to that, if you don't succumb, not it might be a little bit of a stretch to say succumb to it, because like everyone needs to have a job to sustain themselves, right? But like at the end of the day, you're still confiding with societal economics. I don't know, like it's just not societal economics, but succumbing just economics, and you just wow, okay, yeah, this is quite interesting. It's just weird to think about, but you're right, like eventually everything got a sweet spot. I think it's when the world becomes more advanced and progressive with new technologies, new sciences, new discoveries, there's greater need and a greater call and a greater cry for regulation, for automation, and for like, you know what I mean? Like, especially in 2020, now we're seeing like everything that we used to seeing as conventional is no longer conventional, and it's breaking up a lot of societal norms, etc. And then there's cries for regulation here, and as the world becomes more regulated with everything that comes through, if you can get something done now and like, put a patent on it or something, and then like if it blows up, it'll get regulated, and then when it gets regulated, it's just like seen as part of the economy, part of the world, how the world works. So it's weird, It's interesting.
Yeah, so I'm going to take back my statement of it being like conspiracy theory and how the people puppets thing. I think just over time, like people just found like, okay, we've tried telling people to work 6 days a week, and a bunch of people are gone crazy, and a bunch of people are burning out and they're leaving us. Maybe we should try 5 days, and then everyone did 5 days, and like it was just like due to like economics and sort of nature, like things just balanced out to this perfect working machine. And then this leads to, what's the point of this machine? And like, where's it going to? Like when we like produce GDP output for say Australia, what does Australia do with it? So like I think that's like some next level. You need to study economics, but like
like it's interesting, like how did the world become like such a self-oiled machine, in the sense that the economy is just, it's a circle, it doesn't stop, you know what I mean? It's like all countries are nearly every single country is in debt, and it's like it doesn't matter because it's just a self-sustaining machine where it's just going to keep going round and round. And like Australia's in so many millions of dollars in debt, and it doesn't matter because we're always selling money, but we're getting money from taxes, and it's like it's in and out, and it's round and round and round and round. And it's like, yeah, how did we get to this point where it's like the person who thought of accounting, like
the metaphor I came up with is, those turning things that have water buckets in it and just keeps turning, and you're looking at it, you're like, what's the point of it? It's not connected to something that generates electricity. It's just turning for the sake of turning. But like I thought about further, the metaphor is like, if it stops, all the microbes in the water die. So it's just turning for the sake of turning to keep everything alive. There's no reason why we have this perfect machine where we are working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and we sort of have enough to just survive as well as have a bit of fun. It's just turning for the sake of turning, to the sake of just keeping things alive. I think the machine is...
Are we all just living for the sake of living?
Yeah. Like maybe the machine is perfected where if, like right now, everyone just wants to live. Our nature is like, we want to survive, we want to live for a long period of time, we want to increase our population, and we've built the perfect system for that.
Yes.
And the perfect system is driven from our innate drive as humans, Homo sapiens, to reproduce, grow, and survive. And this is the perfect system because we went from living average death of like 35 to like 90 or 70, but like it's jumped a lot.
And it goes back to what you said before, like with more and more spare time, with more and more automation, with more and more streamlining of procedures, there's more and more opportunities for the system to continually grow, to continually become more like habitable, in the sense that, like you said, with new generations coming and going, like the world is like, how they say the world is your oyster, but how long is the world going to be the oyster for until it gets to a point where we've exceeded the expectation, not exceeded the expectations, but exceeded like what's there for us to use. And that's That's what's the drama going on about fossil fuels and climate change and everything right now, right? But think of this, right? What if there was a button and you press that button? Okay, not this Yuvan button. That no, I don't want any of that. No. That's just PTSD from that. I'm talking about a button, right? And then you press this button and the economy stops. What happens? You know what I think? Well, I think it'll be like chaos outside. I think there'll be fires. I think it'll be like just ridiculous chaos. Like it'll just go mental. Like, what do you think would happen? I don't know. I think the world would stop.
COVID was like a sample of that where in
Yeah.
America where like there was a hard stop on the economy and resources disappeared, and we're like, we actually need people to make, like, dude, we take for granted that we can go to the shop and buy toilet paper. We forget that there's a whole freaking industry and factories making us toilet paper. But we're lucky we can just spend $1 to buy a roll, like even 20 cents to buy a roll of toilet paper. Like we are so efficient where every single thing is streamlined. Like back in the day, you might have to walk like freaking like 2 hours to the local town to buy like super expensive newspaper that you would use. I don't know, like it wasn't as efficient as it is now. Like little things like that people take for granted.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, I mean, that's going to be the topic and theme for today: automation, streamline, and economy. But we've hit the sweet spot. I think we're gonna pull the plug on this because we can keep going and going, but we'll hit the sweet spot. What do you reckon?
I agree, and I think just like the topic we've been talking about, every episode we found the sweet spot. Right now, it's like around the 50-minute mark where we are we've gotten everything out. We have energy to go more, but I think maybe some episodes we've pushed further and we've just ran out of topics. So just like what we talked about, it's like automatically we're finding the perfect sweet spot for the length of this podcast, and we're automatically talking to this point. It's crazy how like 50-minute was this magical sweet spot. We did not plan this from episode 1.
Yeah,
it just came to be.
I hope everyone knows as well that whenever we start these episodes, we literally just be like, boys, 6 p.m. and we're like, yep. And we get on and we're like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we start it. There's no topics at hand. There's no list or anything. There's no script. We're just start talking. So like, yeah, I get what you mean. Like we've hit the sweet spot. We've hit it and we've banged it. What do you reckon, Stephen?
It's amazing. It's something different for this week that I like to hear as well.
You weren't even listening. That's actually cap. You actual idiot. Shut up.
I was listening towards the end. Trust.
Shush. Anyway,
No cap, I was.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to episode 11. 10 episodes deep. I hope you all enjoyed episode 10 as well, because we enjoyed filming it. And if you want to see more content like episode 10 in person, we'll do it in person. I can't promise whether or not our third guest will be there or not, but it's okay. Thank you so much for listening. Andy?
Thank you so much, everyone. Drop all your feedback in the comments below. We're always reading the comments. We really appreciate those. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. I'm really enjoying this. 11 episodes in. And yeah, small steps, a week, an episode every single week. That's the goal. Have a nice week, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Take care. Have a nice